Hey yo EXO family, it's your boy Jalen's EXO back with another video, and today I'm going to give you guys 5 tips and tricks on how to take care of 10 plus animals. Just a little background knowledge on me. I'm 19 years old. I've been working with animals my whole life. I got my first animal, my first reptile, when I was 10 years old. I've always had a fascination for dinosaurs, reptiles, amphibians, mammals. List goes on and on. And if that doesn't give you guys enough information on me, then here's a list of animals I've worked with. From 18 to 19, I've worked with over, I would say, probably 100 different species of animals. I do have a long list, and I write down everything I've worked with and actually handled. The first tip on my list would be to know the food types of your reptiles or whatever you're deciding to take care of. I wish I knew and better scheduled what I was going to get before I got it. I have I believe 9 different I don't know. I have a lot of stuff, but they all eat different things, and it helps out to know what your reptile's eating. You want to make sure you're either sticking to rodents, insects, vegetables, the rapashi, others like fish, or maybe a kibble if you're deciding to take care of like mammals. I have, like I said, tons of different reptiles that eat different things, so it just makes it that much harder to constantly care for them when you could just buy all of one thing and feed everyone. Find something, or if you're owning a lot of reptiles or you're taking care of something, make sure when you're feeding, you feed everything that eats the same thing at the same time. So when I'm at work, I feed the blue tongues, the monkey skinks, the uromastics, and then bearded dragons. I feed them all greens first. Then whoever eats the insects, I give them insects after they all get the greens. Everyone who eats crickets, they eat the crickets first. It just makes it a lot easier and smoother to calculate how many bugs you're going to need and feed across all the tanks. A second tip on taking care of 10 plus animals is knowing your animal's activity times. I have a lot of different species of geckos and skinks and chameleons, so it's like they all are active at different times of the day. If everyone's active at the same time, you don't have to feed at different times during the day. You can just get it all done in one sitting. Then having similar bugs or all the same bugs make it that much easier. The third tip on my list would be the food preparation. What are the steps you have to take to ensure that your food is healthy, or when can you go get the food for your reptiles? This is something I struggle with because I have to feed so much and bugs only live for so long. So when I try to feed, I try to get it all done in one day, and it's you always end up forgetting somebody or get too much or get too little. Your food preparation is always necessary. What you're feeding your insects, as far as gut loading and things like that, and the overall health of your insects. Because if the insects aren't healthy, you're feeding unhealthy insects to your reptile. How do you expect your reptile to be healthy? So make sure that you take the time to prepare ahead for whatever you have to feed, or knowing what the special needs of your animal is. Now, the fourth tip on my list will be the food quantity. You need to know how much your reptile is eating. For instance, if I fed everyone crickets, which is possible because I have all carnivores, Cabo would probably be eating around 64. Buddy would probably be eating around 48 to 24. Cheese would probably eat around 12. Sai would probably eat around 12 to 14. The geckos will probably eat around 36, and the smaller geckos will probably eat around 24 small. Randall will also eat around 24 to 48 depending on how often I feed him. So you need to know how much you're feeding your reptiles and how often. That is very, very important. You also don't want to overfeed. So if you feed a lot, then don't feed every day. Feed maybe twice a week. I personally feed once to twice a week because I just give them a lot at one time, make sure they're all eating, all satisfied. When I start seeing poop and stuff, then I feed again. Knowing how much you're going to feed is going to help you gauge how to take care of multiple, because like I said, the overcounting or underestimating is a huge factor. You don't want to have 300 extra crickets laying around, or you don't want to only feed 2 animals if you have the chance. So knowing how much your animals eat is a huge factor. This goes for every animal. I'm sorry that I'm just relating it to reptiles. I have just one dog, so I really couldn't relate on having multiple mammals. But I'm telling you how I make it easier for myself when I feed a reptile. Last tip is the feeding time and the personality of your reptile. If you know your reptile is a good eater, or you don't have to worry about tongue feeding, things like that, they're not lazy, you don't have to worry about anything like that, then it should fly by fast. But if you know their eating habits, when they're active, when they look for food, it just makes it a lot easier for you to learn how to take care of them and really just get to know your animal and figure out their needs. I know everyone's eating habits. Kaiba doesn't care. He'll eat whatever whenever you give it to him. Doesn't tongue feeding. He loves to be tongue fed, but he'll also eat on his own. Buddy is tongue fed only, and he takes a long time to eat. Cheese, she only eats from the tongue. Will not go for food if it's just sitting there. She'll literally look at it, wait for me to pick it up, then feed it to her. Sai, he's scared of me. Don't really work with him because he's in the sand all the time, so I just throw his crickets in there, and then the next morning they're gone. Randall, he's getting better with me. I'm able to tongue feed him. He takes right away, and then he wants something to do with me. The Cresties, they hide too well. I really can't get to them in their enclosure. I throw their food in there and it's magically gone. Plus the Rapashi, I prepare it for them and they're good. My day geckos are the same way. Repair the Rapashi, throw the crickets in there, they're gone. Hades is the same way. Hades does not come out during the day at all. He's like a 3 a.m. scary dude type. Feed him in the morning. I hear the chirping for like a day and they're all gone. I check, make sure I don't overfeed. I feed as needed. Like I have a whole bunch of crickets in here. A lot of them are dead. I gotta go get some new ones. But there's still a good amount alive inside the tubes. I just sprinkle them as needed. Got the Rapashi right here. Friggin' insects recommended. Anything with insects, just in case. If you don't feed the actual insects, then the Rapashi with the insects just replaces everything. Like they can live off the Rapashi for the rest of their life. They're not missing out on anything. They have all the proteins and nutrients they need from the Rapashi. It's all in the directions and ingredients in the back. They'll be fine. They don't have to eat bugs. I just like to stimulate my geckos' hunting instinct. Also, it makes you have to clean it more, and that's another huge thing. Knowing how long you have to go before cleaning. That all depends on how much you feed, how often you feed, and like I said, the personality of your animal. If they're a messy eater, probably gonna have to clean it a lot more. If they don't leave any crumbs, or you have isopods and things to take care of the tank itself, then you should be fine. The 5 tips were the food types, the activity of your animal, food preparation, the food quality, and the feeding time.
A bonus tip would be to get front opening enclosures or maybe a PVC rack that I have in the back.
If you guys have any more questions, I'll be more than honored to answer them. If you want to see all my animals, here's a video right here. Make sure you guys go check that out. If anything I said to you didn't agree with you or didn't make any sense, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think of your opinion on my 5 care tips to how to take care of more than 10 animals. Leave another comment letting me know what you have. Like I said, I've worked with a large array of snakes, frogs, reptiles, anything you think about. I've worked with it. I'm honestly shocked. I've never thought I would ever have a job. The job I have, more than happy of having it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.